Uh, Before I get started, a quick show of hands. Uh, how many sort of brick and mortar retailers in the room? Thank you, guys. Uh, so I think it's all said that God gave us like 2 ears and one mouth. So usually I'm better at listening than I'm at talking. But thanks for being here. It's a privilege to kind of speak to you all. We are focused on the part of the customer journey. It's all omni-channel. We are at HipHip focused on a part of the customer journey that happens inside the store. And before I go any further, I just want to make sure that we keep the employees who work at the store, your store managers, the store promoters, at the top of our mind before we develop any solution. Because if you're talking about in-store customer experiences, those are the people who are going to deliver it. And their jobs are really tough. With that ado. So I think we spoke about quick commerce. Brick and mortar is evolving in the age of quick commerce. We're all talking about personalized customer experiences. And before I talk about my product, I think data is changing. And we need to analyze data for millions of customers, and it's changing all the time. So it's a hard problem to solve for brick and mortar outlets. We're all waiting to get our hands on the next set of sort of VR goggles so that we can do a lot on it. We can probably watch a cricket match or something. But I won't sort of give up that experience of going on to a stadium and watching a cricket match. We just saw the India Park cricket match. So all said and done, I know quick commerce is the animal, but 90% of retail in India is still offline. And I think we should just take note of that. Things are changing. Even if you look at developed markets like the US, almost about 85% of commerce, even in the US, is still offline. So how do you sort of make sure that the offline model really works for us? Is really critical for retailers to kind of complement or complete that omni-channel journey. So if you missed that, I can just probably go back a bit. There you go. So I'm just going to play a brief video in terms of to just get started with some of the offerings that we have. And then I'll give you sort of 3 case studies in terms of what we've done for our customers.
Physical retail provides something digital platforms can't: the ability to touch and feel products, and immersive brand experiences. Understanding the hot zones and dead zones in your store is essential for optimizing product placement and ensuring customers can easily find what they need. HipHip's AI-powered computer vision provides real-time insights into checkout wait times, foot traffic, dwell patterns, and shopper behavior. By leveraging our technology, retailers can enhance customer experience, streamline operations, and drive higher revenues. HipHip, helping you become smarter, faster, and more connected.
Yeah, so when we are talking about in-store experiences, pretty much all of these become essential. How do we use camera analytics, and how do we use that data to be able to look at things like dead zones in the stores, hot zones in the stores, dwell time, checkout times, shelf analytics, and stockouts, and so on and so forth. And some of you guys know this better than we guys do, but these are all things that we are trying to solve through computer vision and AI. Like I mentioned, it is hard to build personalization, and I want to share with you a few examples in terms of what we've done together. I was listening to some of the guys who spoke early in the morning, and we spoke about, customer experience is great, but on a day-to-day basis, we spend about 80% of our time thinking about profitability and operational efficiency as business leaders. So just to summarize in context in terms of what HipHip.ai brings, we've got 3 pillars to what we do. One is the digital pillar, and I think that pillar is absolutely fundamental to implementing any AI strategies that we want to implement without having a digital pillar in mind. So we kind of sort of focus on that. The other, when you've got that digital layer sort of built out and in place, how do you overlay machine learning, or how do you overlay any analytics, including camera analytics, on it? Because essentially, you're looking at footprints which are like, anything from like, you could be like 50 stores or 5,000 stores. How do you consume all that information across 5,000 stores and deliver it back to your store managers with some insights? So for that, you need like a digital platform which your people are equally comfortable using, and that's where sort of we come in. The first thing that we come in is with that. So one of our case studies is AI-powered visual merch. So with visual merch, you can look at things like shelf rack accuracy, offer placements, inventory observations, and brand reinforcements. Some other things that we kind of help you do with camera analytics is things like heat maps and dwell times and wait times, etc., and footfall analytics that we can all do through camera analytics. But if you look at sort of visual merchandise, one is how do you get sort of your campaigns to the stores real time? I mean, we spent sort of months preparing planograms, so how do we make sure that it's sent out to the stores sort of at a click of a button? And we've made sort of digital, we can help bring digital tools which can help launch planogram like in an instant. So people have it like at a click of a button. One of the issues, again, with Brick-and-Mortar is you might have run a marketing campaign, but if you're a retail outlet or a retail brand which has got like 2,000 retail outlets, how do you know that every single brand has launched your campaign on time? Yeah, again, through computer vision and through camera analytics, we can help you give you that feed. Because launching a campaign is all about making sure the planograms are there, your POS and material is there, and the campaigns are sort of the old branding and the old campaign material is ripped off and the new ones are put up on time. And through that, we can kind of give you that experience of making sure that your campaigns are much better executed. Also, this entire effort on managing whether something's been done, a lot of that process is managed on sort of WhatsApps and etc., where district managers and regional managers are asking for photographs of stores in terms of how these are executed on WhatsApp. Now, that's a very, very inefficient way to do it. Our solution is completely sort of digital, completely app-based. And the AI is giving district managers, and retail heads information already on what aspects of the campaign has been executed and what are the places where they need interventions. So there's a significant reduction in time that goes by supervisors and store teams in executing some of these campaigns. For another one of our customers, which have got like 1,500 sort of retail outlets, we've been working for them for about over 3 years now. We see that a lot of places, retailers have implemented islands of solutions. So there could be instances where there is a help desk app that has been launched, which is a particular provider is giving. There's another app that measures NPS. There is another app for a store team that is possibly helping visual merchandise, marking attendance, so on and so forth. I think it's a big pain. I mean, the store manager or the store teams really need to be superhumans to run across 5 or 7 or 10 different apps, trying to juggle with, hey, what do I do today? And on top of that, they need to manage customers and keep your sales flowing. What we've done is we've simplified this entire journey for them. It's all within one app, including things like, how do you measure incentives for stores? How do you look at new store openings? So it's, again, a huge productivity driver, including things like, rostering for your manpower. The only guy who knows best how to roster people at the retail outlet is the store manager or the store lead at the ground himself or herself. It can't be done centrally. So by rostering perfectly, by making sure that your attendances are marked through facial recognition and geofencing, incentive calculators so that each and every individual at the store knows what his or her incentive is. And if you can sort of go that extra mile in generating some more sales, what that incentive might be, so sort of gamify that experience. So what we're trying to do is all of this can now be available to you through one window. Just think of it like as a mini ERP that your store team can use to do a variety of things to just do one channel. And it doesn't have to go through like, multiple tools, and you're not having to maintain user databases for each app at different places. It's just one version of truth. You onboard users at one place, integrate to your HRMS systems. You don't have 10 different integrations to make from a tech team perspective. And it works sort of really seamlessly. And it's a huge productivity driver, not just for the manpower you keep at your stores, but even for the effort that goes into supervising and managing your technology. It's very seamless. My last example is around the machine learning aspects of it. Just examples of discount recommendation engines. So one of the customers we work with is, again, multiple SKUs, thousands of SKUs across different sort of product catalogs. And how do you make sure that you're offering the right kind of discounts at the right time? We all talk about personalized discounts. We've kind of heard about it. But we all run into, as retailers, inventory issues, aging issues, dead inventory issues. So how do you come up with solutions which can offer like a recommendation in terms of what product, what SKU should go on discount at what stage? It can take into account sort of past behaviors in terms of what were your observed sale previously, and give you like a fundamental analysis of what could be your predicted sales, what could be your profit margins at a particular discount. And those are engines that can be built by taking some of these factors in mind, like in terms of your external factors, what are your market intelligence, aspects about your scalability, aspects about your intelligence. Here again, you can look at sort of margin uplifts. Yeah, you can look at margin uplifts in terms of what incremental margins you can generate, what dead inventory you can kind of get rid of faster. So really, what I've really picked up is one example of digital. I've given you one example using camera analytics, or one example using sort of, what is the art of the possible with machine learning. Obviously, there are multiple use cases. And I think what we always try and encourage is what is the manner in which you're consuming all of this information across, your hundreds or thousands of retail outlets. Because what you offer at one retail outlet might be different from another, given what your preferences are, or given where consumer preferences are across maybe a tier 1 city or a tier 2 city or a tier 3 city, or any other dynamics that are impacting your business. So all of those things, the way it's consumed and where it's delivered and where it's executed, has to be done through a platform that adds velocity to your business. A lot of times this data can be analyzed centrally. Some data science team is sitting centrally analyzing the data. But how do you make sure that it's delivering the impact, delivering the ROI that your business needs? That has to be done through a seamless digital platform that gives you velocity. Yeah, we actually, as a culture, bring a laser-sharp focus on ROI. And I think we all talk about AI being a tool which is going to be a significant productivity driver. And one thing we try and do is, as we kind of engage with prospects, as we engage with customers, we keep the fact that how are we boosting bottom line by 3 or 5% when you combine various initiatives over a period of time at the center to what we deliver. So whether we are delivering a digital experience, our conversation is going to be about where are you going to be able to add productivity to your business. If you're talking about machine learning, what's the bang for the buck? And similarly on camera analytics. Each of these are use cases which will either help you impact top line or help you drive bottom line or better customer experience or operational efficiency. And I mean, if you're talking about AI going to take away jobs, I think 3 to 5% is a very meager target that businesses should strive for in the next 3 to 5 years. Yeah. Another conversation we kind of tend to have is, especially with brick-and-mortar retailers, I think e-commerce, quick commerce have kind of adopted this model. But as we look at the traditional sort of technology layers, historically, and a lot of the world has moved away from that, but historically we've always looked at hardware, software sitting on top of hardware, and then users interacting with that software. But I think brick-and-mortar retailers specifically have got to start thinking about how their sort of technology is organized. We are looking at kind of saying that, what is an interaction layer? And the interaction layer is not just for customers. The interaction layers is for employees within your organization. So move away from thinking about hardware, software, and user to kind of thinking about what is my interaction layer? How are interactions happening? There is a data layer. And the data layer, we can call through multiple names. We can call through a data lake. We can call through a data hub, whatever you might call it. But that's your data layer where all of your data sits, whether it's structured, unstructured, whatever that is. And there's an intelligence layer. We talk about AI and all of this kind of stuff. You know, we hear about things like even agentic AI and all of these kind of things. So where does your intelligence layer sit, and what is the intelligence you want to use to tap into your data layers to basically have better interactions for your employees and better interactions for your customers? And that's where the immersive sort of experience comes in. Last bit, I started by saying that we always keep the center at the center what the retail teams go through on a day-on-day basis. And this is fundamental to the technology we build. When we talk about digital tools or anything, it has to be kind of feedback to them. Some of the things that the retail teams go through and staff go through are obviously, this is a strenuous job. These are long hours, low-paying jobs, difficult to manage shifts. People actually miss out on a lot of commitment, personal commitments, people who are working at stores. Sometimes we kind of tend to overlook some of the hardships and the challenges the store teams kind of go through. And I think it's very fundamental that we are solving for some of these challenges through whatever technology kind of we build in. So if you talk about things like being able to manage their tasks easier through a digital tool, or be able to reduce the time it takes for them to execute upon something, or to even know where they stand on their incentives, even to know, for them to know, okay, I have my holiday planned on a particular day and somebody else has got a holiday planned on a particular day. These are kind of big issues that you kind of solve for your retail teams. There's a huge churn in the retail industry, and it's something that needs to be solved for, especially at retail outlets. Sometimes we hear of churns of more than 30%, 40% in the retail teams. And how do you solve for some of these things? We keep that central to the focus in any tools we're building. It shouldn't sound like more work for the retail teams. It should always sound like we're adding value and we're kind of reducing the efforts or whatever they're kind of going through. So I'll just probably stop here, take any questions. Happy for you to kind of join us for coffee also after a while. Anybody who wants to catch up, we're right here. Anyway, thank you so much.